Welcome to Real Talk with Shawn, everybody. This evening, I have the pleasure of speaking with Miss Aaliyah, who lives with diabetes. I want to thank you for joining me. I think that you're a very strong woman.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. I watch you online, and I love your artwork, and I see what you're doing.
Thank you.
And I love your positive vibes.
Oh, that means a lot to me.
Yeah, your energy is, you have really good energy, and I love it.
I appreciate that because I know I'm not a normal human.
But you know what? I'm weird.
When I say I'm not normal, I mean literally coming out the womb, I glowed in the dark. I had jaundice. Like I glowed in the dark. I came out the womb. I'm not playing. You asked my mom. She was like 22 when she had me, and she was like, I was like her third child, and she was just like, she's telling the nurses, she's like, something's not right with my baby. Like she glows in the dark. Like something's not. And it was like, no, she's fine. Like, and sometimes she was tripping, and then she was like, they tricked her into signing the discharge papers, and it was like, oh no, we have to keep her. She has jaundice, and she like showed out. Yeah.
What is diabetes?
Diabetes is basically a malfunction of my pancreas. So my body does not produce insulin, and we need insulin to survive. So insulin regulates your blood sugars and like helps control your energy. So I don't make any of that. So I've been diabetic since I was 8. So I got diagnosed November 2001.
Wow. So you were 8 when you found out. Did you understand it?
Yeah, I did, because you know my mom has always been in the medical field. So like I've always seen her like take care of people and stuff like that. So like sickness is just like an everyday thing. But what had happened was her, myself, and my sister had caught viruses one day, and while they got better, I got worse. And later on, like this was around Thanksgiving, so I was just like throwing up everything, peeing a lot. I lost a lot of weight. I was like really ghostly, like bones were sunken in, and my granddaddy was like, that baby looks like a dead ghost. Like you need to take her to the doctor immediately. So we went to my pediatrician. And it's the same lady we've been going to, like our kids still go to this pediatrician.
Okay. Very familiar with your body and who you are. Right?
So I remember we were like next in line, and she looked over at me and she was like, no, we got to stop everything. This baby's sick. Like I got to see her immediately. And then I started like blacking out. And when I came to, like paramedics was around me. And I remember like they put like an oxygen mask on me, and they were like talking to me, and I was like trying to talk to them. And my mom, she was like crying and like holding me, and like she had her hand around my neck, and she's like, what are you saying? I'm like, you're choking me. I'm saying you're choking me. And she's like, oh. And so, I blacked out again. Okay, too. We were in the ambulance, and the guy was like, I remember, even as a child, I remember, as an 8-year-old child, I remember he not doing his job right.
What?
Because he was just like, do you want some Sprite? And he kept like putting the shots in my mouth, and I'm like, if I'm blacking out, why are you trying to give me any liquid? Like what?
Yeah.
And why are you giving me Sprite?
What?
Like I remember thinking that as a child, but I was so in and out of consciousness, I couldn't be vocal. But I remember thinking that. I remember thinking, why are you trying to give me Sprite and gum? And I'm laid up like this.
Right.
And then I'm looking over, and I'm like, my mama freaking out, and you got to Sprite you. And your answer is a Sprite. And then I blacked out again. And I remember coming to in like the hospital, and the nurse coming in, and I remember this nurse very distinctly because we disturbed her.
What you mean you disturbed her? What you mean?
She was just like, okay. So she was walking in, and she was explaining that like I had diabetes. So she's like, you're gonna need to take shots for the rest of your life. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
And so she was telling my mother like how to like draw the shots and stuff up. And my mom was like drawing the needle up with the insulin. And she was looking back and forth between me and my mom. And she was just like, this is like not right. She's like, normally people are freaking out, the kids are crying, the parents don't know what to do. Y'all are too calm.
So she didn't know how to take that.
Yeah, she was just like, y'all are too calm. And I was just like, if this is what we gotta do, this is what we gotta do. And it was like, my mother was already medical. So
okay. I guess so that was the logic behind the calmness. You kind of,
for me, it's like, mommy know what she doing.
Right. Right.
Like, we know what's wrong with me now. We know why I can't eat.
Okay.
Now that we got this under control, I can eat.
So from your perspective, you were more so feeling like, okay, we have answers now as to things that have been going on with me. We have answers to those questions.
Yeah,
now.
It's like, okay. All right, we can do it now. And then they made us take, they made me and all my immediate family take a diabetes class. And like in this class, I got to like give people in my family shots since they were going to be giving me shots.
Right.
And I got around to my mom, and it was just water in the shots. It was a little small shots. I got around to my mom. I was like, "Let me get your stomach." And she was like, "Whoa, let me pinch it first." So I guess we kind of felt the comedy.
Found some humor, right? You find humor in it.
Like it wasn't a bad experience for me either, because like while I was in the hospital, we ran into these clowns. And like I never like really like seen clowns before. We was like walking down the hall, and he was like, "Look, Lee, there goes some clowns." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Went down the hall, we telling the clowns again. So we was chasing clowns in the hospital. Right. And my mom had 3 kids, so this is like the only time I guess like we got to like bond alone.
Right.
So we started chasing clowns like they were Pokemon. Right. So they were visiting this other girl, and I want to say like she had cancer or something. And I just went in there and I told her, I hope you feel better and stuff like that. And I just like wanted to see the clowns. So then we left, and then they found me later and was like, you were just so sweet. Like we just wanted to come entertain you for a little bit. So they like twirled plates on my hands and stuff like that. They gave me a nose. Like it was it was tragic, but it was like it's okay.
Exactly. No, that's actually a good thing to me, because I mean, we normally hear the other side. You hear this news and you spaz out, you feel like it's the end of life. There's no tomorrow and no life living with whatever we've been diagnosed with. But from your perspective or your experience with it, it was, of course there was nothing happy about having diabetes, but the way you all dealt with it, you found humor in it. And from what it sounded like you all actually came together as a family, and it gave you some sense of a bonding.
Yeah, it did.
Through you.
It honestly did. I honestly never looked at it like that until you said it.
Yeah.
I never really connected those dots.
Right. Which is amazing to me, because I mean, like I said, I don't think it's, nothing that we would wish for any, especially me being a parent. I wouldn't wish that for my child, because I know that there's ailments that go along with the word diabetes. And of course, along with the physical aspect of it, there's a mental aspect of it. Yeah. So the fact that you all handled it like that, I find that really, really good. And we never know why things may happen and who it may happen through. So it kind of, like you said, brought y'all get together, if nothing more, for those moments.
Yeah, that's true.
And apparently they did something and left a good stain in your heart, because that's what you immediately started talking about.
Yeah, because the symptoms and stuff was pretty bad. Like they had told me, had I probably waited another day, I probably would have died. Wow. Yeah, it was my sugar was like 800 to like the 1,000, somewhere in that high range. So it was
explain to me the ranges. So when diabetes, do you need to have more sugar? Do you not need to have sugar?
It depends. Your body is not your neighbor's body. So for some people, they get hypoglycemic. There's a hypoglycemic and a hyperglycemic. So hyper is like your blood sugar is pretty much always elevated.
Okay.
So anything, well, I guess for an average range, they always tell me my range should be like 80 to 150. Realistic, that ain't. All right. Now, me, if I can stay under 200, it's a good day.
Okay.
It's a good day. Okay. But then you also have the hyperglycemic, which is like your blood sugar is always low. So like that is also extremely dangerous for me. Like I go catatonic, which is like my body moves, but mentally I'm not there. I think I'm asleep. And it's like to the point I like maybe, what was this, like maybe 2 years ago, I had a situation where I almost slipped into a coma because I went hyperglycemic.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah, so I almost slipped into a coma. So like, and honestly, had my boyfriend not been sleeping next to me, it would have been lights out.
Oh wow. Well, honestly, I'm glad that he was there in that moment.
Yeah, and he handled it like a champ. It was a lot of blowback because it's like, you know, I almost died. So of course it did something to him mentally. But he handled it like a champ. He did handle it like a champ.
And I think that that's very important as well, just speaking on that aspect, because you mentioned it with your partner, really knowing you and knowing what to do if they see certain signs, and not to panic, even though, I mean, it's easier said than done. But, you know, we have to know, and it's very important for you to educate, you know, of course, someone on your health.
Everyone, if you coming in this circle and you gonna be around me, you got to get the glucagon talk. In college, I made my roommates watch YouTube videos. Like, y'all, if I go down, that's what y'all need to do.
Important. It's very important.
And they call my mama.
It is important.
Yeah. Y'all, you gotta have a game plan. You gotta know where the stuff is. You gotta know how to mix it. Like, because with the glucagon, they used to have it like with the dry part and then the wet part. I don't know if they still do it like that, but you have to shoot that in and shoot it out and put it in my thigh. Otherwise the sugar won't get to me right.
And that's very important. Like I've never, you know, had to, fortunately, I've never had the experience. I would probably panic, as I say we shouldn't, but I probably would. But because
people do, it's understandable.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just being human, and in that moment, you know, you think you wouldn't panic, but we never know what we do if we're forced to have to make a decision or make a quick move like that. Because can you go from literally sitting here with me to going through an episode, or does it gradually happen?
Both, because it's like I've gone catatonic 3 times in my life, I want to say.
Okay.
And each time, normally, like if I'm up and I'm like, we're having conversation, I start talking loopy.
Okay.
And when I start talking and it's not making sense, I'm laughing because I'm recalling memory.
Oh God, what did you say?
Listen, this is so bad. One time I was getting ready for work and I was working at a movie theater at this time, and my blood sugar started dropping, and what's crazy is like I had a blood sugar sensor on me and everything, but the sensor wasn't beeping and it started dropping. And I forgot to like pay the light bill or something. And my mom was working from home. She was like, "You didn't pay the light bill." And I was telling her something along the lines of, I had to pay it in blood. So that's why the lights got cut off.
Right.
And then she looked at me and she was like, "Check your blood sugar. Check your blood sugar." My blood sugar was like in the 40s.
Wow.
She's at work. The lights got cut off. I'm going through an episode and she's on the phone trying to get the lights cut back on while she's trying to dump sugar down my throat. And I'm telling her, they not gonna cut the lights on because I didn't pay them in blood. And she's like, "Aaliyah, shut up. Just shut up."
So, and you had no idea. And do you remember this?
I remember bits and pieces of it, but I remember looking at her being pissed.
Right.
Yo, sis was mad. Was mad. Like,
that is funny.
What made it worse? Off even more because what made it worse was when I finally came to and I got myself together. I was like, all right, you know, I'm cool, everything cool now. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to work. She was just like, I know you fucking
right.
lying.
Exactly.
Going to work and you better get in there and lay your ass down. I was like, okay, let me call them and tell them I'm calling out.
I like your mother. Exactly. If you don't go take your tail in there.
To this day, she is like that. My homegirls came over and was trying to kidnap me. Couldn't leave the yard. I was creeping out. She cracked open the front door. Hey, where you going? We all got scared.
I know that's right.
We all 20 plus, and we all.
Wow. But you know what? I don't care how old you are. You're my baby. And I'm not going to let nothing happen to mine.
I was like, I'm not going nowhere. We just gonna sit and talk in the car and I'm coming right back. I found 16, like I was kind of slumped. And they was like, we thought we was going to Piedmont. I was like, y'all want to go talk to Big Bear in there? Because I'm not.
Because she running the show.
If you want to be the sacrifice, you can do that. But I'm gonna go back upstairs
but
and get my bed. Right. I'm not going toe to toe with that woman.
So when you were young, like going through having a diabetes, how did it affect you when you were young? Did it stop you from being able to play sports? Like, how did it affect your childhood?
Well, I was never athletic.
Okay.
Let's start there. So
is that by
really
nature?
Problem. By nature. So that wasn't really a problem.
Right.
Because I knew my lane. I was the slow runner. I couldn't pass the baton right. I always got yelled at in gym. And it was just like, hey, we all got gifts. That ain't one of mine.
That's not yours. I
bow all gracefully. So, but like I couldn't, it didn't really hold me back, but it was like I was conscious. Okay. So it was like, I could do what they doing, but if I do that, it might be blowback. So like, if we went to if the class had like a birthday party and stuff like that, okay, if I can eat the cake, but you're gonna need to take the icing off the cake. Okay. Like stuff like that. So like, it was like little like give and take, but honestly, I've been like, I've been in therapy and stuff like that, and I've been reviewing it, and like a lot of adults around me didn't know how to manage my diabetes. So they would just always tell me, just know you can't have it. Just know you can't have it. Like, even down to, and it's like, the more you tell, especially a child, the more you tell them no, the more they're going to want it. So that wasn't the right way to do that. And you should not, and like, if you're listening to this and your kids have diabetes, don't tell them no, tell them to do it in moderation. So like, okay, if you want the cake and you want the icing, take a smaller piece. And be sure you take insulin behind it. Follow up with your blood sugars instead of just saying, no, you can't have it, and isolating me from the group.
That's true.
So
that's true.
And a lot, especially like a lot of aunts, like if I like went on family, like going to, I have family in Philly. So if like I went up north or anything like that, they'd be like, well, they had me on like the nasty cereal instead of the good cereal. So I had to snap instead of the Fruit Loops. And they was like, oh, well, you can't have it because of all the colors. Exactly. Ain't got nothing to do with carbs.
And then they tried to sugarcoat it because of the colors.
It's like, no, I don't want to eat the snap.
Exactly.
Like, damn, I want this.
Because of the colors.
Time.
Right.
I can have marshmallows. Like, don't do me like this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that was crazy.
But as a child, you couldn't turn up on them like that.
Yeah.
And you just had to eat it.
I know that's the messed up part. Yeah. Well, your butt gonna be sitting there hungry because you're not getting these colors.
Well, why you don't ever want to come visit? Because I had to eat snaps. That's why.
So doing that, it's things like that actually affect us mentally. So how did that affect you?
it caused me to overindulge and like sneak because like I couldn't have it. Like, okay, so like we had like this cookie jar. It was a Pillsbury Doughboy cookie jar. And if you lifted his head, you lifted his head, he went hoo-hoo. His head never worked. It never worked.
And that was your best friend.
One time I go to steal a cookie. Real loud, pitch black, middle of the night. I'm in there like a ninja. I just got the stove light on. Okay. I said, dude, loud as can be, pin drop quiet, loud as can be. This guy goes, hoo-hoo! Loud. My mom was like, who in that goddamn kitchen?
Oh, she one of those. She hear everything. She don't miss a beat.
It's just like if I shut the house down, why you moving?
Yep. I know people like that too. I know people like that. You're right. Like the house is shut down.
It was shut down. It was spick and span. Why you moving? Why am I here in the cookie jar? Leah, why are you the one in the cookie jar and you the diabetic? And it's just like, the Chips Ahoy was calling me. I couldn't even get a glass of milk. I couldn't even get and you know, I ate it real quick and it's just like, ain't nothing you can do. It's in my mouth.
Right. So what were the repercussions?
Yeah, I just got yelled at.
Okay. But so nothing happened to you.
It was no.
Damn right, I take it. You're damn right. That chocolate was good.
My mother was the threatening type. You only got beat for big stuff. My mother was but she was the type that threatened you with her eyes.
Okay.
I was thinking she was the type
that,
you know,
crazy eyes.
You know, when them lips balled up.
The folded lip.
Yeah. And then like you would never hear the threat. You just have to That was my moment.
Right. I do it myself, so I know. and don't do nothing. And I don't even do anything, you know, selling wolf tickets.
Right. So I would say I just overindulged with it. So like, and it got to the point where like, she asked me, like, she had caught me like just like overeating snacks. And she was just like, do I need to just stop buying sweets? And I was like, yes, you do. I have no self-control. And she was just like, well, I'm not going to do that. Right. She had a sweet tooth.
You were honest as hell. I don't think she was expecting you to say yes.
Right. I said, yeah, exactly. She thought a threat was going to say, yes, help me.
So you did started to overindulge, period, in the snacks. So that messed you up. It did. But like them telling you no, I mean.
Yeah, them telling me no, that's what messed me up. And then mind you, I'm like between the ages of like 8 and 12 at this time. So it's like you don't know nothing about self-control. Like, of course, you really don't understand. Like, your life is literally in danger. And then, like, because it's not their body, they really didn't know how to manage my diabetes.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So, with that being said, it was just like a lot of tweaking. And my diabetes did go uncontrolled, honestly, for majority of my childhood. And, like, honestly, I didn't get down to a good A1C until I got into my adulthood. And I got, like, not to say like my doctors in my childhood wasn't good, because they were excellent. And I had the cream of the crop. I just didn't know it at the time. I took advantage. But as an adult, when you can't find good doctors, I was like, if I can find that lady again and she's taking adult patients.
Then you realize how good you had it.
Exactly. I was just like, man, I took them for granted.
But there had to be, the fact that you said that though, that means that there, even though they, you know, looking back, they may have done a good job, there had to be somewhere or something that they did not do that you feel.
I honestly believe it was more my home life than it was my doctors. After my first initial doctors at Scottish Rite, my mother did not like. I remember I had like 3 male doctors, and they were all cis white males. And she was just like, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And you know, mother's intuition. She's like, they'll make the doctors for us. And so, of course, she did her research. And to this day, if I need new doctors, I got to go to my mama, and she got to find my doctors, because me doing it by myself, Like I was doing it by myself and couldn't find any good doctors, and it started like deteriorating me, because it's like I'm spending all this money and for what? Y'all not doing anything but having conversations with me and then charging. Like,
so
yeah,
how
exactly.
do you treat, but how do you treat diabetes? Like, do you, how would you treat it?
You monitor. It's really, all it is really you monitoring. You getting in tune with your body. You not necessarily eating correct things, but of course nobody's supposed to be eating all this like processed stuff. And
of course,
any of
us, right?
It's like you eat stuff in moderation, and then you eat more on the healthy side. So me, because my diabetes caused me to have a plethora of other issues, I had to go like vegan, pescatarian, hybrid.
Okay.
So that helped me, but of course I still need surgery and stuff like that. But for other people, like just like eating in moderation, checking your blood sugar at least 4 times a day, and just like being on top of like your insulin, just like really taking it. Like for me, I got my stuff, and I honestly, the exercising and stuff does help too. It do help. It do help. I'm lazy, but it do help.
I believe that I definitely agree with that.
Yeah,
that
and help. Even if it's not like heavy exercising, just like little like leg workouts and stuff like that, like in the house, like that at least gets you something.
Yeah.
So just like little lifestyle changes.
Absolutely. I believe that lifestyle changes can help with pretty much anything. I think if not a lot, they definitely contribute so much, less stress, because we know that our mental definitely plays a part with our physical. And when the two, they play off each other, of course. Now I heard you mention that you still needed surgery. What is it that you need surgery for?
So my diabetes caused me to contract a condition called gastroparesis. And you don't necessarily have to be diabetic to get it though. And it's a relatively new disease. I've honestly had it since I was like, I showed symptoms of it at like 21. And I didn't get diagnosed with it until like 2017. But that was like, I've been dealing with it for like 7 years. But these last 3 years is almost taken me out. So with gastroparesis is basically there's a piece of muscle, and basically there's a valve in my stomach that doesn't relax. So it doesn't allow me to digest food. So food will sit on me until I throw it up.
Wow.
So with that, it has caused me to have we about to get dark. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm completely comfortable. I'm just letting you know I have no filter. All right.
What? I like that.
Okay. All right. I gotta let people know, because people be like,
no, if you don't want to,
this throat chakra open. So
exactly. No, I like it. And my thing is on Real Talk, if you choose to not listen to this part, then you know how to fast forward. And if you choose to exit out, you also can do the same. So with that being said, what were you going to say?
So the gastroparesis basically caused me to be anorexic, because food equals, I fear food because like food equals pain.
It makes sense.
So like imagine a pregnancy on steroids and you never get a baby. So the nausea every day, the smelling everything, bedridden. I've gone through phases of starvation, and let me tell you, that shit hurts. Like starvation is not humane at all. Like I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Right.
So, but with that, like because I'm being so much pain, I was having like suicidal thoughts as well. And it's like, it's to the point where I was looking like, it's not like I want to die, but it's
I get it.
I get it. Pain. It's like you praying for death. It's like
absolutely, exactly. It's like to get me out of this pain that relief. I feel. Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying with that.
Yeah, so it's just like, and then it caused me high anxiety, depression. Like I have, and to this day, like it'll like my body pain will trigger anxiety attacks.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like it's it's been, these last 3 years has honestly have been dark. And I look at it as like, these have been my cocoon years. Like, and I've really, like, don't get me wrong, like, I do look at my sickness as a blessing, because I was always that person that equated my identity with like my job title. And like,
it's a lot of people like that.
Yeah. And it's like,
that'll be a good topic, y'all. Okay.
Right. And it's like, I always like, you know, I was like getting stuck in like that restaurant industry too. Like being a supervisor, being a glorified babysitter and stuff like that. And then like I switched over to like the corporate stuff. And I was having problems in corporate that I shouldn't have been having. And like I had a stress call for a year working in corporate. And when that cis white man looked at me and said, after I trained my replacement, looked at me and said, hey, we're not going to cut your hours and we're not going to give you more pay. We're just going to give you more work to do. And he thought I was going to be okay with that. I knew corporate wasn't for me. And I was just like, it got to be, this ain't it. This ain't what I need to be.
Yeah.
And he was too comfortable saying it.
Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. I swear you did, as far as that. And for him to be like, that bold to just say that
it's not even worth it. I was like, it's
no,
not even worth.
But basically, he gave you your answer.
Exactly.
Because he told you exactly what. I respect him for your honesty. And now I'm going to make the decision I make. I mean, that's how that goes. So you can't even be mad.
Set up, though, it was just like, okay, that was my cue to go ahead and finish filling out these forms to go back to school. That's exactly
all that
happened.
Was.
But they wound up firing me for being too sick.
Okay.
But which was cool because I got like unemployment off of it and stuff like that. But like
worked in your favor. Okay.
Yeah, and I, you know, but it's like me sitting down for that year. I was blessed that my partner was able to, you know, cover all our bills and stuff like that. He had just landed a great job. And he was just like, I've been wanting you to quit that job anyway, because your hours is crazy. Like you've been coughing like crazy. Like he didn't want me there anyway. So he was just like, well, just sit down and figure out what you want. So I was basically a housewife for 3 years. And that's how I got into like my painting and my arts and stuff like that. And he had been telling me for years to like, just go ahead and like start selling your artwork and stuff like that. But I never believed in myself. And it all comes back to self-love. Like I didn't love myself enough to believe in myself.
I'm trying to tell you, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you found it. I'm glad you found it.
Yeah, I did. I really, and it took him leaving me for me to find it. Like, but it's okay because it's like now I love me the way he used to love me.
It sure is. He cannot possibly. You can't love yourself the way he used to love you. You can't.
I love myself better than the way.
There you go. There you go. It's no way. And you got that right. So that's the work behind you that I see that is so beautiful to me.
Yeah, I got me a little gallery set up.
I love it. I love it.
I appreciate that.
So that's what that's where you found solace.
Yeah, I actually talked to this girl on TikTok, and she just had like a really heavy backstory, like a lot of trauma and stuff like that. And she seen my artwork, and she was like, "Oh, I want to buy that piece, but I also want you to make me a piece." So we had a conversation just about her life, and that's the Medusa piece. I don't know if you've been on my page. That's the Medusa piece.
I saw it.
Yeah, so I
love it.
Like all of that was elements of her life off a conversation we had. So like a snake was her emotional support animal, which is why I got the Medusa. Like her Medusa wasn't smiling because she had a hard life. Like she had a daughter. So I put a little silhouette of a little girl on the hill. Her name was Willow, and she's very sensual. So I made a willow tree of a woman. And like, it was like little tiny details in it too. Like the clouds, like she played soccer, her number was 16. So there's little 16s in the clouds. So it was like little small stuff. And like, it made me feel good. Like I never put so much work into something.
That just sounds like it though.
Yeah, like I put a lot of, like I got a whole hand cramp doing those snakes. And I was like, it took me like 2 weeks to make that. I had to ice my hand doing them snakes.
But what you just explained, And I saw it. I remember seeing that on your page, but I don't think I looked that deep into it. But I remember I liked it, and I'm going to go back now and look at it again just because you mentioned that, because that sounds tight.
Yeah, and I was like, maybe I need to do that on my page. Like, I need to like zoom in and just do a voiceover of me explaining.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, you need to do
that.
There's
a lot of devil in the details, and a lot of the work
what you just said, I like that. Yeah. But I mean, it tells a story. I'm pretty sure. You know, there's a story in all of the art. Now, with it's pronounce it again.
Gastroparesis.
So with that, you can't eat because
it's very difficult to eat. So like, and then gastroparesis is different for everybody. Like some days, like I can't hold water. Like it was to the point where I was throwing up black stomach acid. Like in and out of hospitals all the time. And it's like just racking up bills. Like to the point where the paramedics got so used to us calling, like I was training paramedics.
Wow.
Yeah.
On what to do with you.
Yeah.
So right. But you got it down packed.
Yeah, and then like their counterparts, like their supervisors would be like, yeah, listen to her. You got a good patient. She know what she doing. Like we ain't got to do the work. Exactly. So that was something. But it's just like all things for a reason. And it's like I'm weak on the physical field because I'm strong on the mental and the spiritual one. And that's just all it is.
Absolutely love what you just said. And I do. And I agree with you as I watch you and I look at you, your smile, like I said, your energy. And now I've actually, not only have I seen you online, I'm actually speaking with you. So I feel it myself, so the fact that you're going through all of those physical things does not show on your smile. You may be small framed, but you have a very big personality. Seem like you have a really good heart. Yeah. So, I mean, those things, like you said, I do agree with what you said. And, I hate that you have to go through the, the pain and the physical aspect of it, but you do find humor in it because you're constantly laughing as you're talking to me and talking about it. So you find humor in it no matter what. So, I guess that's your way to fight through whatever you go through. And I love it.
Yeah, I guess recently I feel like I've gone through like a second wave of a spiritual awakening because I kind of found my purpose in my walk in life. Like I know what I want to do. I just need for my disability to come through so I can have the funds to do it. So, and I feel like, you know how they say you get reincarnated because there's a lesson you're supposed to learn?
I do.
I feel like one of the lessons that I was supposed to learn in this lifetime was like true humility and just gratitude for the smallest things in life.
Because like so love it.
I like just to be able to like have the energy to take my nephews to the park. That's enough for me. Like truly. And like they go and they have a blast. So like it's just like little small moments like that I know not to take for granted. So
and that becomes very important in life because others take things like that for granted. So it's the small things like that, like you said, that means so much to you. And hope and others like you that may be going through things like you said, just to be able to get up and move that day. So these are the every day for you. Like tomorrow is another day, of course, for me, but 9 times out of 10, I'm probably just going to wake up, roll over and get out of bed. For you, it may not be that way. Am I understanding that?
Correct. I 24/7, I got some type of ailment, pain or anything that's going on. So my latest problem is that I have no body fat. So my bones rub together. Okay. And it's highly uncomfortable. And so like I might do a little Mary Jane to like soothe that pain, but smoking out the bongs will also give me gas. So it'll be gas on top of my ribs. So it's like a double whammy.
Exactly.
So like, you gotta pick your poison. You gotta pick your
exactly
poison, which is more bearable.
Exactly.
So
At this point, you've gotten to that. Like, which one is more bearable?
Yeah, that's what I pick my daily. I pick my poison. And it's to the point where I also have OCD, so I have to take a minimum of 3 showers a day. Because like
you added that on top of everything else. OCD had to creep its way in there.
If I don't, I take multiple showers a day. If I don't take multiple showers a day, my body doesn't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But that's
and you
because
need to feel as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, that's because every time I was sick though, I would I had a shower chair and I would just have the shower as hot as I can stand it and let it just burn on my back to relax. Because with all the throwing up and the hunching, that also takes a toll on you.
Exactly. That does. Because that, I mean, that messes with your muscles and your bones. I mean, because of the constant, jerking and oh my God.
And he was like, well, just do protein shakes. Well, you can't do protein shakes if you throw them up, love.
I mean, she just said sometimes she can't even drink water. That's a liquid. Protein shake would be liquid.
I did find a place though that does, here in Atlanta, they do the IV fluids. Yeah, it's the IV bar.
Now we're talking about insurance and money. Now, I'm not, if I'm getting too personal with this, then let me know.
Go ahead, let it
out. Do you have insurance that's covering all of this?
No, all out of pocket. Okay. Everything. And that's why I said my partner was a blessing, because he made sure I was good. Like, he held me down tremendously.
Whoever you are, good guy. I know y'all broke up.
He is, like, I mean, and it's just like, that is my soulmate, but it's just not our season.
Not your time yet.
It's not it's not our season. I don't know if it ever gonna be our season again, but I know it's just not right now. That's okay.
Well, let me say this, the respect level that you have for him is very high because of the way you just said that. Absolutely. And that's enough right there.
That's I mean, he's literally carried me up a mountain.
What's up.
No shit. Like he literally put me on the back and carried me up the mountain.
And that's a man. That's what a man should do.
And I couldn't make it back up. And the whole way up, every Black woman, that's a good man. That's a good man.
Right. Damn right. There's several of them out there, and that's one.
Yeah.
So when people say there aren't any, there's one right there. And that's what's up.
Like, he don't know what he missing. He does. He gets it. But he understands. He understands.
I think that's going to be very important for whoever dates you out. That was my next question to you. So are you seeing someone right now? I think I heard you say.
I'm not seeing anyone. I'm honestly, I don't even want to say I'm dating. I want to say I'm just hanging out. Like, I don't even know if I'm hanging out. It's scary out here. It's scary out here. We can go out in friend groups. Yeah. That's about it.
At this point, I think that's the safe way to go. Listen, at this point.
Don't slide in my DMs if you're not coming with some organs or some funds to get me some organs. That's where we at.
I know that's right.
Don't call me beautiful.
So that means you better come at her correct.
Okay.
She just told you.
Unless you want to run me a pancreas or a new stomach, leave me be. I'm going to tell you that right now.
That's a woman that knows exactly what she wants, y'all.
And what are you bringing to the table? If you're not bringing organs to the table, I don't want you.
I love it. I love it. I love it, and I love my new friend. Yeah, I love it. Well, I'm ready to let you get ready to go, but I want to tell you before I let you go once again that now, since I officially met you, I think you're one of the strongest people that I have ever met. Please continue to stay positive the way you're doing. It does get better. I know it's just words, but it's you already see it. I mean, because you're still here.
Better. This is better. Go. Like I have been through, like when like yesterday, I was in a lot of pain, but I was like, I have been through so much worse than this. Like the tears are understandable, but I have been through worse. Like I got
exactly. The tears, I mean, they're real because it hurts, and we cry when things hurt. We have emotions. But you're going to pull through, and then look at you now. Mm-hmm. You're sitting here vibrant. So
it does get better. Tears. You manifested them tears.
Hey.
You energy cannot be created or destroyed, merely transferred. So you take that negative energy, you flip it, and you manifest with it.
I love it. I love it. You're right. Mm-hmm. Where, because I want, listen, y'all, follow her. Her artwork is amazing. You already see the amazing personality, and she's young. She has a lot of life to live. Let's follow her and support Aaliyah. Where can everybody follow you?
You can follow me on TikTok or Instagram at Usagi with the puffs _, in between. It's USAGII _WIT _DA_PUFFS. I'm a little baked too.
I love it. And what is that name? Sure. What is your name and what does it mean? What does that say?
It's Usagi. It's from Sailor Moon. I'm an anime nerd, so I have like Sailor Moon tattoos.
What is it?
Usagi. Sailor Moon is the anime. So,
Sailor Moon. I'm gonna tell my daughter. She probably knows what it is. She loves anime.
That's actually these pieces here. Mm-hmm. So I made them Black women.
Hey.
So yes, I don't know if you know Ann Lee.
No.
She's a Black artist. She does like faceless people. Mm-hmm. And like she does this one piece of this woman and she's like getting out of bed. She's tired and she got the rollers in her head. She's like growing up. She was my aunt had her art all over the place. So that's who I get my faceless people from.
That is so cool. I heard you mention that on your page before because somebody, I think you explained the faceless people on there. Yeah. I just didn't listen to all of it. So what do you sell your art, right?
Uh-huh.
And so anybody that's interested in your artwork can go to the page.
Yep, and they can just direct message me and I'll ship it off next day. I do commissions as well.
That's what's up. Now, do they need, when they send you that DM, do they need to also send an organ too? Because I mean...
Only if you ain't talking about organ, don't start.
Got it.
Right? Either commission,
that's right.
Commission or organ. That's what we work.
There you go.
That's what
we gonna support her. Listen, my people, y'all support her. All right, we're going to start supporting each other more, y'all. We got to start supporting our melanated people more. Okay, y'all?
Yeah.
So I got to ask you one last question before I let you go.
Mm-hmm.
Will you promise me to always spread peace and love in this world?
Absolutely. And that's like really what I want to dedicate my TikTok page to, just spreading a little light in the dark world. Because like we live in a world where they kill Black men and sacrifice babies.
It's a tough world out here, and we need a lot more peace and love.
So,
yes, it is.
Yeah, so just spread it when I can. Spread it how I can. And I ain't going to be bubbly every day, but I'm going to try.
That's all I ask.
Yeah.
That's all I ask. And as long as we do that, there'll be more times of us spreading peace and love than we're mad or having a bad day.
And honestly, if you heal yourself, you slowly heal the world.
There you go. That's what I'm looking for.
If you focus on you, and get
that's
you
the
together,
start right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what all this is about. Absolutely. So thank you so much, and we will be keeping in contact.
Please. I love this. And anytime. When
I will be coming back.
When your podcast start popping off, remember me.
You think I'm not? Are you kidding me? Ain't none of that. You know what? And this is honest. This is me being real right here. Mm-hmm. If I didn't, then everything that I'm doing, I'm fake.
Right.
That's the way that's honestly the way I feel about it. And that's on some real. So I will never see this the beginning. And y'all, everybody here, everybody, absolutely. Everybody that's right here is the beginning. And you can never forget that.